Hello, everybody. Thank you.
Hello.
Happy Valentine's Day weekend. Thank you, thank you. We'll make this quick so you can make the 9 o'clock Wuthering Heights. Don't worry. Thank you so much. Let me see where we're at in the credits right now. How long ago did Jay erase the board? Like 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
We're still kind of decompressing.
We're gonna take a minute.
Yeah.
It's a deep moment, isn't it? Yep. We even shocked ourselves with that. A lot of people saying like, I didn't expect this movie to be so, what is it, like, moving? Neither did we. We could not think of another ending. That's literally it. Before we were like, do you remember what originally was gonna happen at the end?
Yeah, you were gonna get like electrocuted like violently to death.
Oh, we were gonna do like Ernest Goes to Jail, where I get electrocuted, then I get the powers, and I can fly, and I'm doing it. It was gonna be like we had a whole bunch of other stuff planned, and then we just stopped shooting, so we had to do what we did.
Oh, right now some Valentine's Day treats are being passed around.
We have Nirvana the band Valentine's for everybody in this theater. And you want to know what's crazy? Because we forgot for the other ones, this is the only theater in the world to ever get these. So cherish them. They're going to be like the web series DVDs in 3035. People are selling them for thousands of dollars on eBay. Whereas we just have basically a basement full of these things. We're using them as a couch. I'm serious.
Well, love is in the air tonight.
Is anybody here on a first date? That's just a joke.
That's
a joke.
Is anybody
You're
here-
taking a hell of a risk.
Is anybody here with their best friend or friends?
Really? Ah, wow.
That's really nice.
Us too.
Don't betray them.
Well,
It's
actually,
a cautionary tale.
no, it's I gotta tell you.
Actually, maybe betray them and then learn a true lesson.
Exactly. What I was going to say is this movie says that a friendship can overcome betrayal.
The betrayal is
at,
like a rite of
at the
passage.
cost of death. One of you. Well, look, it really is true. A version of you does have to die. Okay, we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So we're going to answer literally any question you ask us. So just raise your hand. Yes, you're right there. I will repeat this question so that you guys can hear it, just so you know.
You're just so effortlessly convey like what you're thinking. I'm curious if filmmaking, like any sort of crucial skills you learned through filmmaking that improved your.
This is an interesting question, not for, aside from the self-aggrandizing element of it. His question was like that, him noticing that I'm an effective communicator and did filmmaking help me get
But
there?
you know what? Before you give a long answer, I'll just say that he was always like this.
That's not true.
He was.
That's not true.
He was a very precocious, very well-spoken.
Precocious has nothing to do with what he's talking about.
Whatever. And he was a well-spoken child that turned the heads of people.
That's
Teachers.
so different.
And he was a little liar. And
But now you're getting to the truth. Yes, that's
So,
it. But that's
go ahead.
But that's ineffective communication.
I just wanted to be truthful.
Well, okay, but see, this is a great through. This is you guys know the term lenticular? Do you know what this means? It means, yes, the same thing, but through two different lenses is completely different. And Jay is telling the truth that, yeah, as a kid, I was precocious and I talked a lot and I really cared about my vocabulary, which I all just stole from my mom. My mom was very much like that. But I was not an effective communicator because, as he said, I was such a
Little liar.
Yeah, I was I couldn't because I was so addicted to storytelling and to getting reactions that I would lie about things all the time.
It's funny.
And it was only when I think I was 18 or 19 years old, I got a job as a tour guide at a science museum called the Ontario Science Centre. And this, to this date, is the only real long job I've had. From 19 to about 24 or 25, I was a tour guide. And I just thought, oh, this is some stupid job I'll use to pay the rent. When I was making the web series with Jay, that was my job. I worked Friday to Monday, and this job changed my life because I was forced to communicate with strangers all day, every day, answer their questions, and sincerely help them. And that is what turned me into somebody who used words to, like, I guess, manipulate people to get a certain end, into somebody who tried to talk to people to help them. And as a filmmaker, all you're trying to do is talk to your collaborators or anybody in a way that is going to make them better, not you look better. And that was the real difference.
Even when we write too, we'll write as a group, but then Matt is the one who takes everyone's ideas and just synthesizes them into like a little one-page thing. And he's not really embellishing any of the group's ideas at all, but he has a very effective way of just putting the words to paper that when you read it back, it just reads like truth and it's consistent, and no one on our team would do a better job at doing that. So
I've been careful about picking people who don't have a better way with.
that's very true. Let's move on to another question right here.
To end this quickly, I will say for everybody here, this is something I was told as a kid. Your vocabulary will be the thing that limits your experience of reality. And so your life is going to be determined by the way you describe it to yourself.
You heard it here first.
I go to all the wild plans you guys come up with, all the stunts.
Thank you.
Right now I'm kind of doing a bunch of weird stunts myself.
Right now?
The kid's wearing quite a bright shirt.
I'm making a podcast right now where I do all these insane things to get my first feature film funded.
Yes, have you seen the movie Pitch by Kenny and Spenny? You guys know about this film?
Yes.
It's a very interesting movie. It's exactly what you're describing. It's shot in the 90s, and these guys are trying to do what you're doing, a series of pranks to finance their feature film, which is called The Dawn, which is about the head of a mob, who I think, I don't remember. There's a whole movie about it. Anyway, I cut you off.
I thought I had some idea.
Well, you do in a way.
Do you guys have any, what's my plan? You guys are so good at coming up with a plan.
Every plan that we've done has failed. If you couldn't hear it, his question was, he, in a very Nirvana the band style way, is coming up with plans to get his first feature film financed, and he's asking us for advice, which is absurd. Because, like,
You have to just do it and fail and do it yourself and figure it out. Like, just start doing it. If you could continue to start like pitching and trying to knock on the door of the industry, but what we were doing for 10 years was just making stuff and failing and looking at it and being like, well, that didn't work, let's try it again. Well, that didn't work, let's try it again.
but yeah, in terms of like a plot,
That's
I
one
already
way-
see
one way of doing it.
you have the wild eyes of a schemer. Like, you'll be completely fine. You don't need advice from us, trust me. Yes, at the back there, was that somebody's hand? Oh no, it's just the light. Yeah, you right there in the middle.
Yeah. First of all, amazing movie, guys. But in the interviews you guys have done leading up to the wide release, you said that you couldn't talk about any of the CN Tower stuff.
You know, we'll make this deal with you that we just made with the other theater, and we told them how we did it. But everybody has to put their phones away, and you can't film this anymore. And then we'll tell you the truth. But yeah, do it quickly. Yes, I'll do it very quickly. Okay, so. You're telling me? Yeah, that's right. You know, there are probably people here who don't actually care that much about us, would rather have the footage, aren't there? I'll tell you the short form version of it, okay? And that is that Jay and I don't actually jump off the CN Tower. We get replaced by VFX doubles at the last second, but that entire thing is Jay and I doing a kind of ballet with the tour guide who's wearing a GoPro on his head, who has no idea what's going on, and we are not working with him. But those tour guides always do the exact same script and look in the same direction at the exact same time. And so for weeks, we rehearsed exactly where to move, at what times, listening to his voice as though it was a song, knowing, okay, so at this moment he looks up and we have to do this. This is when we have to cut the wire so it'll be on camera, etc., etc. And so Jay and I are pretending to do all of this crazy stuff, and at the last second, we both jump and hide, and I shout, "Oh my God, look at that!" And that's why everybody looked down, including him. And then when he came up and was like, "What was it?" This you don't see on camera. I say, "Oh, I think we saw a bird." And so then he gives us the footage, which our VFX supervisor Tristan has already prepped with the stuff that we set up, and that was it. Like, it was basically just their footage that we had a plan to VFX around. But I encourage you all to go do the edge walk. It's actually quite fun. Yes, right beside him on the hat there.
Top Gun hat?
Yeah, the Top Gun
Okay.
hat.
I had a question. Me and my sister are both young filmmakers, and I mean, I'm a senior in high school. She's a third year in college, and we just copied, or we didn't copy. Yeah, we copied Nirvana, the band, the show, and we pretended that we got a call from a producer to submit our film to the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. I'm from Santa Barbara, which is about 2.5 north.
You know what's great? The details in this story. Every single one. This is very good storytelling because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing your older sister. I'm seeing the third year university. I like.
She looks exactly like me, but a girl. Okay. And where was I? You completely lost me in the story, Matt.
You just pretended to get to the Santa Barbara Film Festival.
Yeah, but we're too late. We're too late, and so we're trying to sneak it in, kind of like you guys did it at Sundance.
Yes.
I've been so nervous every single shooting day. We shot it for about a week now, and I just wanted to know, do you guys like already not have social anxiety, or did it go away after filming for a little bit?
When we were young, shooting it, when we were basically your age, it was pretty nerve-wracking because you're going to talk to strangers, and of course in your mind you feel the machine of the cameras and you're like, don't they know? Like you feel like you're embarrassing them. But I think as soon as we realized that our intention was always to make people look their best, like we want everybody to look good in our show. We're only putting people from Toronto on camera and our goal is to make them look great. Then it almost felt like the anxiety was, oh, can we make the best show ever? Can we make this movie the best ever? And so because the focus was let's make this really good, the anxiety around talking to somebody or doing something in public really vanished. It was like it no longer existed.
I kind of went backwards in my growth, where when I was a kid, like I was a huge Tom Green fan, and I was going around with a camera with my friends and like just recreating stuff and being like just a little prankster everywhere. When I was a little skateboarder and just doing a bunch of really socially anxiety things. I didn't care. Then I got older and I started to really hate that feeling of somebody looking at you like, uh-oh, I'm in an ordeal with a crazy person now, and I just want to break them out of that. Like it's very difficult, and so now I really like to feel like this is really contributing and going to be worth it, and that's what keeps me grounded to like push through. But I think, I don't know, both of us had, we have it in us to be able to just sort of push through that stuff.
But don't be fooled, it's still very anxiety provoking to do these things. In this movie, you hear it in my voice when I'm talking to the security guard and he's asking me what are those pliers for, or what are those wire cutters for. I don't have an answer. I literally say they're for cutting my pants, and it's because I have nothing else to say. Like, and if you listen back, you'll hear it. It's like I'm not. I wish that I'd dubbed what I said, because it is a window into the real me, feeling a kind of real I'm trapped anxiety from this guy, because the truth of that sequence is we thought that he was going to stop us because of the parachutes. We had no idea. We thought he was going to turn us away and say, you're out of your mind.
That's what we had written, that we were going to go try to get into the CN Tower, and then we would be obviously thrown out because we look ridiculous, and then we'd have to find a different way into the CN Tower. We'd sneak in. But then what you're watching is just in real time us getting let in, so we're going, okay.
He was so focused on the wire cutters that he didn't see the parachutes.
Anyway, yes, right there.
You guys have talked about in past versions, like the original version of this movie before it became a time travel movie, of how it was like a cross of accountants originally and Confederacy of Dunces. So I was curious, is there any other literary references that you guys kind of pull from in your work, or maybe how much of Confederacy of Dunces is in this version?
Well, look, I think if you've read this book, Confederacy of Dunces, Ignatius is like the original edgelord. He's like he's in this whether we want him to be or not. He's an archetypal legendary character. If you guys haven't read this book, I suggest it. It's a masterpiece, and it's the reason we wanted to make a movie version of it. But it's not like there's anything technically other than the RV, which literally we only have because we were trying to recreate when Ignatius and his mom crash into the building in New Orleans. That's the whole reason we have an RV. And so that RV is really the only thing that stayed between the first version of the movie and this one. It's not like we were like, oh, we have an RV, let's turn it into a time machine. We were like, oh, we'll make a time travel movie. Oh, thank God we got this RV for the other version of the movie. Like, it was just, I don't know if you want to call that luck.
The good news is that all of that New Orleans stuff and a lot of the storylines from our road trip first effort of this movie is all going to be repurposed into season 3 of our show.
2-part episode. Yes, you get to see us travel all the way across the United States. You there, young man. Yes.
I have to say, I didn't know about you guys before, and all day, my wife and I thought we were going to a Nirvana documentary.
Yes. I've heard this before.
Late in the game, I was like, oh no, it's a comedy time travel movie by some Canadians. And we're like, okay, let's go to that. And boy, is it a great movie.
Thank you.
Pleasantly
I
surprised.
would love to also see a Nirvana documentary.
We're working on it. We're good. Yeah. My follow-up is a Nirvana documentary about the band. Just so people can not be confused about me at all.
Great, nice work.
Thank you.
There wasn't a question?
No, I don't have a question.
Oh, that's great. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Right here.
Did you guys have any kind of like alternate plan for the oh shit it's 2008 moment?
I can't even tell who's talking.
Neither can I. But like, sorry.
That made me so I couldn't even hear
What he was saying was, were we thinking of using something other than The Hangover for the moment that we know that it's 2008?
Oh, but what's better?
I think it was Bobby's idea. Bobby, our editor, who is here, but he's too shy to come over. He's just around the corner. He might even talk. He's too shy. He's too shy. He's feeling shy. And the reason that the movie's set in 2008 is because of this movie. Our footage was actually all shot in 2006 and 2007. So everything you're watching is not from 2008. And The Hangover came out in 2009. And so we're trying to bridge the gap with this single sneak preview that Toronto had of that movie. So if you watch this movie again, you'll see on the marquee it says sneak preview, The Hangover. And so that's why we set the movie in 2008, was because of that specific joke. And yes, we always knew it was going to be The Hangover, but the pieces that changed were all the things where we knew the audience would be like, oh, now they're going to get it. Or, oh, now it's going to be so obvious that it's 2008. So those pieces moved around a lot. But that was an early idea that we had, where we could basically put the audience and Matt and Jay on different pages and have multiple, I'm not.
We were also
this is so obvious.
running out of ways to try to think about, we knew we were locked with our old footage to go back to 2008 area. We're like, well, what was it about that time that we could do when we go back there to if we're going to recreate that, and we're there, there's some fashion, okay, yeah, there's GTA 4, and Obama. So as soon as we realized that there was something really telling that could let us know that we something that wasn't fashion or something like that, that would communicate that you are in a different time, that was really funny to us.
But we didn't think it was actually going to be that funny. To be
No,
totally honest,
very
people
true.
tell us all the time that oh my God, it was that was so crazy. And we're like, wow. We think it's funnier when Jay turns around the corner in 2008 and looks at the ground and goes, oh my God. To Jay and I, that's a bigger laugh. To let you know how different of a perspective we have on our own movie than you guys. Yes, oh wait, you just asked a question. Why can't point at you? What are you talking about? Oh no, wait, you didn't actually answer. We thought it was your voice. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to know, the back of the RV is taped up with duct tape.
It's because of the first movie.
Okay.
So in the first version of the
But
movie.
we might still do it.
Oh, that's right. That is the TV show.
Yeah, so we don't want to explain that.
Yes, there's a key reason why. In fact, the finale of the 2-part TV series is why that. Yeah. is
Next
why
question.
that happens. Yes, you in the white shirt over there.
Did you guys treat this as kind of a send-off for these characters, or is it something you want to do till you're 80?
It's funny, we think of almost every episode of the show that we make as the send-off to these characters. It's like at the end we're like, and that's it. And so
That's the way a good movie ends. But we'll just keep if anyone if we'll make more.
That's right. If we don't get arrested after this. The idea is that because the Matt and Jay and Nirvana the band they're infinite. They'll way outlive Jay and I, and so it's like their story begins from zero and ends every single episode.
And it'll be really funny to see Matt and Jay when they're like really old, still bickering like an old married couple. It'd be fun.
You over there.
Just a quick one. I was wondering, like, while watching the web series and obviously the show following it, like, in the background, Nintendo's like a big through line. I was just wondering both of your guys' favorite Nintendo game.
For the two of us together, it's Mario Kart 64, but that's just because we played it so much. But
Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, I think that thank you. Somebody from Square, Japan.
If you had said PlayStation, I would have probably said Final Fantasy VII.
All of the major Nintendo titles we played, like we like for us, Super Nintendo and N64 were like the systems that really we got most of our video game culture from, and so all of those, anything that you see referenced in the show are games that we just love and played all the time, unironically. I still wish we could, but we've moved on to
Another question. Right there.
I have a very specific appreciation for Canadian storytelling.
Thank you.
And I know specifically with this story, it's very Canadian, but I just wanted to know, I don't know, to me, your guys' sense of humor is very almost Guy Madden, even though I know he's from Winnipeg. Are there, in your other work, like Black
Winnipeg's
Bear,
in Canada.
I know, but like, I don't know this, I think more of Ontario, but.
Yes, I see your point.
But like, in terms of like your other work outside of something as specific as this, how does like Ontario or in Toronto like affect the way you guys tell stories? Whether it's like Blackberry or something like way off color from Canada, because I feel like Canada is really underappreciated, especially in the States.
That's for sure. Well, especially Ontario. Look, Ontario culture is something that, I mean, you guys hear that and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it's coming into the Halifax harbor and it's caught on fire. It's full of fuel. And there's a guy in Halifax trying to use an old teletype to tell the people to evacuate, to get out of there, because the ship is going to explode, and the message gets out just in time, but the boat explodes and kills him, the guy who was sending the message out.
So
And
part of our heritage would just show these in like little 3-minute shorts.
they like recreated them like Steven Spielberg films, and we got to
They weren't
watch
all
them.
that dark though. Some of them were about inventing basketball.
Yeah, and so anyway, all of these things, because we were forced to all watch them together, created a really, really strong shared culture that we didn't realize we shared. And I think that when people say things like what you said of, oh, all these films really reek of Ontarioism, it's because those references are just baked in my head, whether I want them to be or not, and I'm constantly regurgitating them. And Ontario also is a very shy place. Like, it is pretending to be America, but it's so not. Like everything that Nirvana the band is, like two kind of polite, slightly ambitious people.
We didn't we didn't start the Nirvana universe by saying this is going to be about Toronto, made in Toronto. Like let's go collect our Toronto landmarks.
It's
it was
invisible
about being
to us.
real.
Yeah.
It was just about being sincere and sort of saying let's not like invent anything. Let's just like be ourselves, and we live in our apartment, and like we're going to use our own sort of shadow versions of ourselves. And we found ourselves just going out on the street and like over time collecting all these different Toronto places and showing Toronto. And by the time we were getting recognized and TIFF would put us up on the big screen, it was so rewarding to see like your city just for what it is on the big screen and validated. It gives a real powerful feeling. And then it became almost like not a responsibility, but something that we liked to try to put as a mandate for ourselves, culminating in the CN Tower being our sort of ultimate white whale.
We have time for one more question. Let me ask one from the back. You with your hand really high there. Yeah.
Congratulations to you, the cast, crew, everyone that worked on this. Can you guys talk a little bit about the writing process? I noticed there was a story by credit for 8 folks. Just want to give them kudos.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it because it's actually kind of interesting. We don't write scripts for this.
Yeah.
And the process that that something like this gets written is not like we're all coming together and writing a story. This is gonna sound bizarre, but it is true because we've experienced it over and over again. We are all strangely trying to remember a story. And I know that makes no sense, but I'll explain how it works because it works the exact same way every single time. We're all in a room and we'll say, I remember how it happened, Jay was like, why don't we do like a time travel movie where we go back to when we were kids? And then somebody will say, oh yeah, and then we change something, and that changes the present. And then everybody in the room is like, yeah, that is what happened. And then, well, what's changed? Oh, Jay becomes famous. And everybody in the room goes, right, that is what happened. And what about Matt? Oh, he's in a cover band of Jay's band. He's been inverted. And
It's just a good writer's room.
But yes, I know, but we're not writing something that we can all see. We're all collectively remembering a dream we had the night before, and that's exactly what it feels like. Because it's not like nobody's saying, oh yeah, that's good, or that's a great idea. Everybody's saying, oh yeah, that's true.
The reason why that works is because we've been writing with the same people for years and years, and so we have this sort of shorthand and this telekinetic. We know when something feels like telepathic, where we feel like we feel when we're on the right track, and we kind of we push each other to the same.
We push each other telekinetically. Yeah, and so and it's such an amazing process because we'll get to go out and try these things, and maybe they work or maybe they don't, and we get immediate feedback from the real world where we'll go and shoot something that we thought would be great. Like there's an entire version of this movie that we shot where you get to see Jay's story when he got to the present and realized he was famous. He shoots a whole music video directed by Kaveh Zahidi. Like there's a gigantic storyline that we shot that when we watched, we're just like, I don't think the story needs any of this. And so we took all of it out. And so it's a very fluid process, and the reason we credit everybody who's on our production team is because everybody is coming up with ideas.
And we're improvising a scene, and Jared or Luca or Nikolai, like they'll see us like working out the story, and then they'll shout a line to us, and we allow this sort of creative to be very open, and it really helps. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's all the time we have, folks. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it.